So you're looking for a dog trainer right here in Arab, Alabama. Well, you've come to the right place. We're going to go through a really practical guide to help you figure out the best choice for you and your four-legged family member.
I want you to just picture it for a second. You're taking a nice, calm walk through Arab City Park. Your dog is trotting right there beside you, leash is loose, totally relaxed. That's the dream, right? That's the whole point. Having a dog that can just be a happy, confident part of your life here.
Okay, so let's get into why training your dog is so helpful for living in a place like Arab. This is about so much more than just sit and stay. It's really about getting your dog ready for real, everyday life.
Think about it. A well-trained dog can walk down Main Street without yanking your arm off. They can handle a trip to the vet without a total meltdown. You can take them to the kids' soccer games and they'll just chill out. It even makes those weekend trips to Lake Gunnersville way more fun and a lot less stressful.
But what kind of training do you actually need? Because the best training really depends on your dog, their age, their personality, and what you're hoping to accomplish together.
For instance, if you've got a brand new puppy, your world is all about socialization, potty training, and getting them comfortable in their crate. For most of us, it's about basic obedience. You know, the essentials like sit, stay, and walking nicely on a leash. Then, if you're dealing with tougher stuff like fear or anxiety, that's where behavior modification comes in. And some folks might be aiming for something specialized, like therapy dog training.
All right, once you know what your goals are, the big question is, how do you find the right person to help you get there? This is where a trainer's methods and their qualifications really matter.
My strong suggestion? Look for a trainer who uses positive reinforcement. It's a method that's all about rewarding your dog with treats or praise when they do the right thing. It's proven to be effective, it makes learning fun for the dog, and it builds a really strong bond of trust between you two.
Now, you've probably been looking online and seen a bunch of letters after a trainer's name, and you're thinking, what in the world is all that? Yeah, let's make sense of that alphabet soup. Okay, let's break it down simply. When you see knowledge assessed, like a CPDT-K, it means that trainer passed a big test on theory and concepts. Skills assessed takes it a step further. They had to actually demonstrate their training skills. Then you have behavior specialists for the really complex cases and graduates from specific, often intensive training academies. Any of these show a real commitment to their profession.
So with that information in your back pocket, you can start looking at who's available locally. And you want to think about a few things: the training format, the price, and honestly, just the overall vibe. Does this person feel like a good fit for you and your dog?
You'll mostly see two main options: in-home training or group classes. In-home is awesome for fixing problems that happen at home, like going crazy when the doorbell rings or pulling on the leash in your own neighborhood. Group classes, on the other hand, are perfect for practicing around other dogs and people, and they're usually a bit easier on the wallet.
Which brings us to cost. It's a big piece of the puzzle, for sure. But here's some good news. Prices for training here in the Arab and the broader Marshall-Coleman area tend to be a little more affordable than what you'd see in a huge city.
So here's a rough idea of what to expect. A group class that runs for a few weeks might cost you a couple $100 total. Private lessons are usually charged by the hour, and packages of in-home visits can sometimes save you some money in the long run. Just always ask what's included in the price. You don't want any surprises later.
When you actually call or meet a trainer, it's good to have a little bit of a game plan. Think about your questions in 4 main categories: their training methods, their background and experience, the practical stuff like cost and scheduling, and, this one's key, what your job is in the whole process. So here are some great questions to have ready. Ask them straight up about their methods and certifications. Ask how they're going to make a plan specifically for your dog's needs. How will you both know if you're making progress? Get the final cost with no hidden fees, and find out if they're willing to work in real-world places. But maybe the most important question is, what do I need to be doing between our sessions? Because that homework is what really makes it all stick.
So you've found your trainer, you've got a plan, now the fun part begins. It's time to take all those new skills and start practicing them out in the real world, right here in our community.
But before you head out, just a quick refresher on the local rules. Your dog has to be on a leash pretty much everywhere in public, unless you're at a fenced-in dog park. A regular 6-foot leash is usually your best bet. And remember, Alabama state law says your dog needs to be up to date on their rabies vaccine and wearing their tag.
Looking for a good place to practice that loose leash walking? The sidewalks on Main Street are fantastic for this. There are people, some cars, some noises. It's a perfect real-life training ground to help your dog learn to focus on you.
Arab City Park is another top-notch spot. It's great for teaching your dog to stay calm and relaxed, even when other people and dogs are around. Pro tip: try going during the week or at off-peak times when it's not so crowded. It'll be less overwhelming for a dog that's still learning.
And when you get to the point where you want to safely work on that come when called command without a leash, we have some great options nearby. The dog parks in Cullinan and Gunnersville are fully fenced, so they're a safe, secure place to practice and build up a really solid recall.
So at the end of the day, that's what it all boils down to. You need a clear plan, you need a good trainer who gets what it's like to have a dog in our area, and then you just have to put in the practice. You do those things, and you can absolutely have that calm, happy, well-behaved dog you've been hoping for.
You know, a well-trained dog makes your own life so much richer, but it also makes them a welcome sight for everyone you meet. We wish you the best of luck on your training adventure. All the effort you put in now will pay off in so many ways, at home, out on walks, and anytime you're with friends and family.